coats high peaks in the Canadian Rockies. This is the source of the legendary Athabasca. A river the color of glacial blue, rising from a land born of ice. And now these waters must gather all their force and power, for the world's best riverboat racers are ready to tumble.
Tough boat.
It promises to be a rockin' good time on the river, as Alberta's wild rose country is set to bloom with excitement.
The first heat of C class, 123, 266, and 114.
The pits are alive along the Athabasca, now out of the mountains at Whitecourt. Its waters await those who would run the marathon in hopes of becoming a world champion.
The total race is going to be about 460 miles. So we got 3 days of circuit racing and 2 long day legs. The world champion that's crowned will be the fastest total time of any boat.
Wilbur Shute is the race captain, here to explain the circuit course on day 1.
It's going to be 8 laps, and each lap is 7.5 miles. And they'll start off, and they'll go upstream, and then there's a real tight corner there, and these guys are going to be racing for position to get into that corner, and the first one in is going to have the advantage over the rest of the fellas. So there's going to be a race to get there, and then there's a whole bunch of tight little corners. Then they come back out in the main river and head down, and then they go down around another island, and where they come back into the main channel on the Athabasca, there's a real sharp little S-turn. It's real tight corners, and it's real tricky, and it's going to be exciting. The skill is on the race circuit where you have all them tight little corners, and the endurance is keeping your engine together for that long leg.
That's the challenge facing racers competing for the 1999 World Championship and $50,000 in prize money. Let's meet the drivers. Look for boat 316, Alvin Bambush of Peace River, Alberta, in Blown Income, running hard in A class. Competition comes from down south, the USA's Tim Harding, out of Gold Beach, Oregon, in boat 333, Burning Desire. Defending world champion Spencer King brings the Sunset Shaker in from Hay River, Northwest Territories, boat 388. Robbie Krunick of Eagle Racing and Penhold, Alberta, pedals boat 351. From New Zealand, Rob Pooley has crossed the waters to race his Maersk boat. Another Kiwi, Jason Scott, brings New Zealand championships to the Athabasca in the Karahara team boat. From Las Vegas, Nevada, it's the Diamondback, number 317, Leo Wright. And rounding out A-class in Bodacious Thunder is Darren Arvey of Mullen, Idaho. Looking to the B-class boats, we find Dwight McIntosh, the Mac Attack boat, 247, from Fort McMurray, Alberta.
I got a good support crew. I got family cheering us on, and big hello to everybody in Fort McMurray.
From California, Garth Sundberg out of McKinleyville in the Wild Engine. From Clarkston, Washington, boat 237, Jim Wyatt, in ambush. From Edson, Alberta, Louis Roersma, boat 233, the Slippery Customer. And Patty Stratton Jr., the hometown favorite from Whitecourt, in boat 240, Hakuna Matata. Look for Sean Carter coming in from out of the blue, and Hay River, Northwest Territories, in boat 288. And Michael Hill brings the Kiwi Eagle in from Christchurch, New Zealand, boat 248. C-Class finds Jim Van Tress in the Van Stress Express, boat 149, from Marysville, California. And another Yank, Joel Shepard, in boat 114, Hyper Velocity, out of Central Point, Oregon. Now we find it's never enough, boat 147, Mike Bisson, from Peace River, Alberta. Mike Rowe handles the rowboat number 266 from Fort Smith, Northwest Territories. Frank Murray is pumping endorphins, boat 123, from Red Deer, Alberta. Byron Bolton, the Harborcraft 193 from Vernon, British Columbia. And Whitecourt's own Brian McGregor, Miss Magoo, boat 183. Now in D-Class, it's Mike Sinclair, the Screamin' Eagle, number 44 from Red Deer, Alberta. Robert Japp brings the Loose Crew from Red Deer, boat 72. And Sam Waller from Gold Beach, Oregon, rounds out the field with No Doubt, boat 69. Racing begins with D-Class and the first heat. With the chase for the championship underway, the behind-the-scenes routine of racing begins. Repairing equipment, comparing notes, and thinking about what lies ahead.
There's the danger factor of it, and it's something that drives us. The river here is fast. It's about 11 miles an hour going downhill, and you're fighting against that on the way up.
We're getting pretty close to being ready. We got to do a little bit of modification on this pump.
We had some trouble last night and wrecked our good engine, so we got our spare engine in, and we're way down on horsepower. So we're hoping for attrition.
You know how you get your butterflies and stuff? As soon as you fire the motor, they're gone.
So we find the first heat of C-Class boats putting in the water as the Screaming Eagle wins D-Class barely.
Well, my pump cap broke right at the finish line, and it stalled the boat, and all the fuel went into the exhaust, and the flames started shooting. We could use a couple more days for setup, none of this overnight stuff again, but other than that, we should do all right.
The C-Class start is a bit ragged as drivers try to time out the start, but they're underway.
Okay, the start line is right where we're standing here now, and there's a staging area which is back at the Orange Buoy, 50 meters downstream. When the 10-second flag goes up, they all have to be across that 50-meter mark, and then they have the 10 seconds to do what they can do whatever they want in here in 10 seconds, as long as they don't cross the start line within that 10 seconds. You want to get that jump, and you want to hit that line right at that green flag. If you cross the start line before the green flag goes down, you get penalized 1 second. For every 1 second, 1 minute.
Just to come up here and race here, it's just a lot of fun, and that's why we're here. Well, my philosophy in winning is to keep the boat and finish the race. That's the first thing, and you know, don't try to go out there and beat somebody into a corner and have everybody like running into a phone booth. You know, you don't want to do that. So we're going to go out there and we'll probably be a little conservative, and if we're ahead, we'll go in there ahead. If we're not, we'll follow the boat ahead of us through there and try to pass him when we get out in the open water.
Miss Magoo, Brian McGregor, gets the jump on the field, heading into the tight corners.
Yeah, Miss Magoo. It's all about Miss Magoo racing.
Let's go that close. Get ready, Mick.
C-Class heats are won by Brian McGregor and Joel Shepard.
We're happy. We didn't break, finished the course, we didn't go on the bank, so I'm pretty happy. Well, it's day one of 5 days of racing, so we've got one we're tucking under our belt, and we've got 4 more to go. So right now we're going to go through the engine, all the components that move on the boat, and make sure everything's just right for tomorrow.
Now B-Class drivers get their first taste of the Athabasca. Far above the river, there is a spectacular view of the racecourse. The many twists and turns on the course are all-consuming for Dwight McIntosh in the Mac Attack boat.
So you're just dicing up about a 6-foot wide channel at 70, 80 miles an hour and just praying that somebody, doesn't pile up in front of you. Well, we've jet boated lots before, but never raced. And this is we've attempted to get to a couple of races, but broke down. Had a couple of engine failures and a couple other logistical things, and so we're struggling along, trying to make a team work.
Now the big boys get ready as 2 heats of A-Class boats fire up.
We were running a 540 cubic inch sheave, just Donovan block with alloy heads and fuel injection and a dry sumpener. Pretty much standard equipment over here, I think.
In B-Class, it's Patty Stratton Jr. and Sean Carter winning their respective heats. Now we find the first heat of A-Class boats in the box. And it's Tim Harding timing the start perfectly to take the lead into the first curve. Spencer King is driving hard in a close second, till Harding has trouble and is beached. And it's the Sunset Shaker taking the checkered flag at the finish.
Yeah, we were pushing her there today. I was going around there the best I could, yeah. It's good to be still running.
We had a wire come off the relay on the computer, and then just like you shut the ignition off. And we was in God's hands, we rode her out, went on the ground there and figured out what it was. And some folks helped us get it back in the water, but it was too late then.
Oh, you're not out of it?
Oh, no, it didn't hurt nothing. We're fine. Bottom of the boat looks good, so yeah, we're fine. Just a matter of going again tomorrow.
What might have been is still what could be for the last heat of the day. And it's Robbie Kroenig getting the quick jump on the field. The spray has settled and the miles are done. It's the Diamondback Leo Wright taking first place.
Luck, I guess. We were just a little luckier than everybody else. We got lucky and got in the first shoot, and that usually keeps the rest of the guys off for a while. So we got up on plane and got in there real quick. It's running pretty good right now.
That's right, yeah. We were side by side going up towards the bridge there, and we were on the outside, so we had to give them the inside and pull back in behind. it's one thing, we like the big blocks got a little more torque than these small blocks, so going upstream like that, they pull pretty hard. We didn't get a great start. We needed a little better start than that. You know, if we could have got 4 or 5 lengths off the start, we probably could have held him off, but he got a really good start. He was right beside us off the starting line.
It seems like every race here, whoever kind of gets to start is...
That's the key to this one, because if you're in that channel first, unless you've got a lot of speed, you can't get around, and these boats are so equal, you know, and once you're behind the guy, you're fighting his wakes, so it's really tough. You can close up, but then you really can't get around unless you just have to wait and hope he makes a mistake.
It has been a day to test the waters. Man, machine, and memories on the Athabasca. Day 2 dawns with a glisten on all that shines, as the sun is out on a morning to reflect.
Yeah, this is going to be a real engine killer today, because not only is it long, the waters are just continually choppy, so everybody's going to be on the... It's tough on motors and it's tough on pumps as well, because you're continually cavitating.
There is time for last-minute adjustments.
When the flag drops and we cross the line, then we'll be running.
And banter about boats.
Basically, that's where all your money goes.
But always in the offing. Each racer knows a 55-mile stretch of river awaits, for the day's challenge is to run upriver to the Chevron Bridge and return to race again.
I'm ready to rock.
Well, the fast boats start first. They go in that order, and then right down to the D class.
That's it. Those are the boats to make it to Chevron Bridge, where survivors cross to rest and regroup.
No, I'm not stressed out. I'm just breathing a little hard, you know, just kind of wind down a little bit.
We made it through some really skinny water, narrowly missed a few things, and just had the ride of our lives.
Got a wave just down the second corner down and threw us sideways in it. Boat went sideways, but we managed to get her straight and kept going forward. Little damage, but not a problem. We're going to keep going.
Actually, it was a nice run. We just give her hard, tried to stay ahead of Sean here, and hopefully on the way down we can stay ahead of him. He won't make that minute up. But.
Well, we busted our pump, and then we busted this intake, and I need to get it welded up, so I'll get that taken care of, and then we should be back in the race, I guess.
We ran into a back channel and had to turn around. Lost him about a minute and a half, and other than that, we had a good clean run. Didn't hit anything, didn't run a fuel, got up here in one piece. And
we get about 5 minutes out of it each leg, and then she slowly dies down. We're pretty much idle to the finish line, and that's about it.
A couple of pressure waves bounced us around a little, but it was a good, clean run most of the way.
I hope we weren't slowest time. We weren't the last boat in, but we were close.
Well, we were in it as much as we could get in there to try and catch Rob. He'd go right, I'd go left. He'd go left, I'd go right.
I think he's playing cat and mouse with me. I think he's got a little bit he's not showing me yet.
The tables could turn as the flow heads homeward.
Go New Zealand, go!
And the New Zealand boats are cheered on. The marathon begins to exact a toll as 333 Burning Desire is plagued by trouble.
Just quit, yeah. If it ain't too bad, we might try to run. But if not, we're going to stay and enjoy the time.
We've lost a couple of spots today, but I think we can still pick it up. We've got the speed to do it. We're racing one class down, but we see the attrition with the open class and choose to run with the small block engines.
Got a good start coming down. We started 5th, I think, in the top 5 now, so hey, we're working our way up.
Well, we're going full throttle around the corner, hit the pressure waves at fairly decent speed. Caught first one okay, second one went straight up in the air, come down nose first. Foot slipped off the throttle, stalled the engine, spun around, caught a lot of water. Started her back up again, away we went.
There's never a dull moment in Whitecourt, a place so friendly even the rivers meet here. Count on a good night's sleep and a place to get the car fixed when visiting in Whitecourt, located along the Alaska Highway, about 3 hours drive northwest of Edmonton. After 2 days of racing, the standings look like this.
We've gotten some of the good breaks. Hopefully they continue on for us, and we can stay up in there with the big boys. It's nice running with them guys. They're real competitors and know what they're doing.
Well, we've been up for the last 2 days working on the boat. We got a B-class motor we put in it, and it's new, fresh. We don't know what it's going to do, but we're just going to go out there and have fun. There's no way we can catch the big boys now.
If I blow it up today, I don't have to worry about running at 130 miles tomorrow. And we're so far behind, it don't really matter. But if I could gain 5 minutes on those guys,
I'm getting closer and closer to when somebody breaks, I'll be up there in the money.
We're not the fastest boat, but we're not the slowest boat either.
I won the first heat, but we were going good yesterday, and then a piece of valve broke and grenaded the motor. But we got to put the spare motor in and back at her.
I'm going to go as hard as I could go. I pretty much got the same heat I had yesterday, so if I could pull these guys out of the hole, I think I could leave them. So.
Yeah, we worked on it, and there was a guy here in town helped us quite a bit, welding up the intake, and then we changed out the pump, so we're ready to go again today. We're definitely down on the field, so we'll just have to hang in there. Hope they have a little problem.
Keep the foot to the floor. Don't let it off. Hopefully we don't break.
Words to live by as day 3 is underway. The laps go by and the race story is written. Each boat holding a name and a number.
Never enough time, never enough money, never enough water. You do it for fun. If you're doing it for money, there isn't a whole lot of money in it.
When we built this new boat, we put on the front of it the Van Stress Express. And the duck, that happened to be a poor duck in Grants Pass. We were doing 87 miles an hour, and his duck took off and he hit me right in the head and put me in the hospital for a couple hours. So I think I won, though. I'm the racing rice farmer. I farm rice for a living in the Sacramento Valley.
With the wing, we use that strictly for ground effect, for stability. And it's a narrow little boat, and so we want it to lock in and run nice and true. So we've got it literally so it keeps it on a flat plane all the time, even in the turns. So next year we'll have a bigger wing. They work so well.
I had the Magoo name for years, and it was Magoo 2 before, and then Miss Magoo. I named it after my daughter. We started racing in 1981 and quit a bunch of times, and now here we are back at it again.
McGregor winds up 3rd in this heat, won by Joel Shepard. And now here comes another thundering herd. The wild engine, Garth Sundberg, gets the flag.
Feels like first place today.
And Fast B's and A-class boats are ready for their start.
Age of about 5, I was always around jet boats, and I went on a race one day just to have a bit of fun, and I got the bug for it then, and we won the 2 biggest titles in New Zealand, And this is when we decided to come here and have a crack at this.
The drill is on again in pit row, as it's time for the leaders to take the water. It's the final lap for Spencer King as he holds off Robbie Kroenig and the rest of the field.
I hope she keeps running. The current moves you around, and if you got your foot out of it, it'll move your tunnels and want to spin you out. So just when you get set into the corner, which way you want to go, you got to get back on the power. Keep yourself straight. Yeah, I got the monkey riding on my back, and he's trying to kiss me right now, so try not to let him kiss me.
I've never had a chance to run it without a wake in front of me, and the wake's made it even tougher, but you just got to be careful there. You can't afford to take yourself out right on that part of the course. It's such a short part of the course, you'd hate to end up on one of those banks. It usually does come down to a two-boat race, you know, a long marathon, and that seems like the way this one is shaping up.
This is great. We're going to drop a perfectly good boat.
It's the drop of doom, as ticket buyers guess how far the boat's bow will be crushed in. The crater in the earth is almost deeper than the dent in the boat, less than 2 inches. And the after-race fun isn't over. A gymkhana crash wraps up a truly entertaining day.
Discussing strategy.
Drivers face another grueling long-distance day in the marathon.
Well, it's going to be a long one. Hard on the motor.
Their task is to travel 65 miles on the Athabasca from Whitecourt to Fort Assiniboine and back.
I mean, it's going to be wide open. I'll just put the foot hard down and maybe ease it out occasionally just to let the motor breathe, but just stay in there.
It was fun. I made some mistakes that would have made us go faster, but hey, we're still running with those rice burner heads. We're so rusty, I'd never put those on nothing if we weren't 22 hours from home, you know.
We hit a couple of gravel bars. We skidded over one about 50 feet over the gravel and another one over about 20 feet and saw a few lunkers and twists along the way, took one wrong turn, but that's what's fun about it, you know, we're driving hard. There's a few points where I had to really drive, and it's not just pedal to the metal, about 90% pedal to the metal, a couple of spots you got to drive her hard.
Right to the floor. It was a flat-out drag race all the way here.
We're in good shape so far, so we're happy.
I did pretty good. Got second, took off second, and followed the guy up there. I just followed him, playing it safe, and then our suction broke loose on our pump. We started taking on water, and he started pulling us a little bit. But other than that, we did pretty good.
Yeah, they should have been going this way from day one, but they haven't. Yeah, things are coming together good now.
Put her on the floor there for a little while there.
I think I jumped the starting line too. I was really trying to nail that start to put them behind me, and I think I took at least a 1 second penalty on the start line. So, yeah, we'll just keep pushing them along right now. There's not much else we can do. So.
It's the sound of halftime as repairs are made.
The broken intake, but I think we got that fixed up.
And now there is a chance to see some history. For Fort Assiniboine, overlooking the Athabasca, was a key outpost in the days of the fur trade.
This post was built not to trade for fur so much as to stock the brigades that came through as they were traveling from the west coast, from Washington and from Vancouver, through to Montreal.
Doug Borg is the local reeve.
Reading one journal from about 1824, the first year the fort was here, there was 17 people that resided within the walls. I think it's been a working river. It's sustained life for the last 10,000 years that we know about.
And now the Athabasca carries the world's top riverboat racers on its back one more time. The passing rooster tail means the day is over.
All the A boats are going together.
And a new one has just begun.
The water's up. It came up about 2.5 feet last night.
You don't want to get a stick in your grate to start the start line, that's for sure.
I look at racing just like the business. I mean, there's only two places. There's first and there's nothing.
Oh, I enjoy the racing, and sometimes it don't go right for you. We went through 3 pumps.
The key to marathon racing is finish, and we're finishing as long as we finish today.
You have to take the checkered flag, and we're in 3rd place, 12 minutes ahead of the 4th place boat, and that's what we're going to try to do, is take the checkered flag. We don't want to break down.
We're out of it. We're not gonna place today, but we're gonna go out. We're gonna have some fun. We'd like to put on a good show for the crowds.
Now. In D class, only 2 boats are left in the marathon, and it's boat 72, the Loose Screw and Robert Japp, taking 1st place, with boat 69, No Doubt, and Sam Waller coming in 2nd.
They've got some good drivers and good boats up here. One of them we just couldn't beat. There are a couple of real fast boats in my class, but we sure had a lot of fun with it. A lot of fun coming up here and racing.
And now the sea boats get their last crack at the Athabasca.
They're pretty nice, eh?
After 5 days of racing in C class, the World Championship goes to Joel Shepard in hypervelocity. 2nd place is Mike Rowe in the rowboat. And coming in 3rd is the Van Stress Express, Jim Van Tress.
They've got the Irish luck. We're sure hoping for it anyway.
It's time to strap the helmet on a little tighter for the B class boys. And it's thumbs up to the finale of an incredible World Championship experience.
Today is the day that we're going to find out who's who and who's going to win.
Coming into the finish line after 5 days of marathon racing, it's Patty Stratton Jr. taking first place in B class, with Sean Carter coming in second.
Things went well and the race is done, so we're happy. Place second, should be good.
The luck of the Irish and the engine have held for Patty Stratton Jr., and the celebration begins.
Wives and mothers. Way to go. Whoa. Fantastic. It's worth it.
Even the boat, Hakuna Matata, lived up to its name.
My wife's sister, Dolores, they come up with the name. It comes from the song or the movie Lion King. It means no troubles and worry-free.
And taking third place in the world is the persistent one, Garth Sundberg.
Oh yeah, had a good time.
With a handshake and a wish of good luck, the climax to 5 days of marathon racing is at hand.
It's just a natural high, and it's plus, definitely.
Yeah. Just hoping and praying to get through this last one.
He's been into it for years, and sometimes I wonder why, because the nerves at this stage are just undescribable. Rob's my husband, Rob Pauling. I want him to be safe. And because he's a very competitive driver. He has a reputation in New Zealand for being the crazy one, really, but he's always won that way. And so safe's first, winning's next, and getting third in A would be great.
And we will soon know if Spencer King can win his third world championship and become the first racer ever to win back-to-back honors. Boat 316, Blowing Income, is pulled out of the water as Alvin Bambush has pump problems to fix.
Okay, yeah, we gotta finish the race.
We'll go without oil. Just go.
While the race is over for Bodacious Thunder and Darren Arvey. And now at the finish line, it's Spencer King in the Sunset Shaker, winning the overall 1999 World Championship. And only seconds behind, it's Robbie Kroenig in the Eagle Racing boat.
You know, and Eagles are 1-2. And Canadians, you know, I just can't be happier. So you couldn't lose. You could not lose to a better pair of guys than these two that are in front of us.
We worked hard. They worked hard, and he put a big motor in there, and she runs real good. Thanks to Colin from New Zealand and brother-in-law Larry and my father.
Back to back, yeah. Well, it's something nobody ever did, and we wanted to do her, and we wanted to see if it could be done. So we were really working at trying to, you know, equipment-wise, everything, put her together and do it.
It has been a week to remember, as the Whitecourt Riverboat Association has proven to be a world-class host.
We didn't do as well as we expected, but we've had a ball.
Yeah, we'll be back all right. Not letting them off us lightly.